Light beams from the headlights of a motorcar.
Desert sounds, the rumblings of distant thunder.
This is Alice. Alice Anderson.
It's an extraordinary pleasure. Available to many ordinary people. There's nothing else like it. The click of the gear stick, your hands on the wheel, the roar beneath your bones, the shudder, the surge. You're off. It's an atmosphere as exhilarating as wine that makes you catch your breath, cheeks pink, as you speed in sheer joy at the goodness of life. The wide open road awaits, the promise of a new day.
It's 1920s Melbourne.
The streets are alive with the sound of trams.
The clatter of the horse and carriage.
And the roar of the motor car.
There's a spring in Alice's step as she darts through the streets and arrives at a mechanic's garage.
Name?
Alicia Elizabeth Foley Anderson. Alice for short.
Age?
20 years and 3.5 months? Oh, give or take a few days.
And you want to work here?
A dream.
Well, the books need tidying and the boys love a cuppa in the morning.
But I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm actually here for the advertised position of mechanic.
I beg your pardon?
The advertised position of mechanic.
I think there's been a misunderstanding.
There's been no misunderstanding. I have a rigorous and comprehensive working knowledge of the latest four-cylinder, including detailing and body repairs. Well, I'm skilled with tools and I have the mind of an engineer. Or, so my father says. Well, they even drove the treacherous Blackspur Road when I was 18.
Listen, Miss Anderson, let me be frank. The mechanic's life is not for the likes of you.
No.
How so?
Oh, there'd be too much swearing, for one.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't understand it.
Little lady, I don't mean to be rude.
I can assure you I'm very serious.
The answer's no.
But I've already been to all 5 garages in Hawthorne and they've all said no. Look, I am ready to learn and, more importantly, ready to work.
This ain't women's work.
He slams the garage door shut.
The English, Scottish and Australian Bank stands like an imposing fortress on the corner of Collins and Queen. A winding queue snakes its way along the polished marble floors.
Finally, Alice is bumped to the front. She can barely see over the counter.
Excuse me, I'm here for a loan.
Who are you?
I am an excellent candidate with a regular income. Or I will be when you kindly award me a loan, that is.
Name?
Alicia Elizabeth Foley Anderson. Alice, for short.
Have you had a loan before?
First time. First time for everything.
Are you married, young woman?
No. Are you?
I see. Rapier wit.
Thank you.
She's very small.
Too small to handle a lump sum.
Who is your guarantor?
Guarantor?
Yes, guarantor.
I didn't realise I had to have a guarantor.
What didn't realise?
Can you believe it?
No husband.
No income. No guarantor.
I was hoping to get this sorted by myself.
Is there a Father Anderson?
Brother Anderson.
It's just me. But don't let that dissuade you. Picture this. 3 stories high. Light streams through the skylight windows. Look down from above and what do you see? A row of newly washed cars lined up for repair. A 7-seater Hupmobile sparkling in the sun, ready for a tour on the wide open road. A pristine workshop, so clean you could eat off the bench. An office to your left, a bookshelf to your right. Fresh flowers on the sill right next to the lane. Oh, a feminine touch. A young learn how to drive. Old girls clamour to learn how to drive. A line around the corner just to see it for themselves. Announcing Miss Anderson's Motor Service, the first all-girl garage in the country. Now, place it in the sun.
Done.
And the Sands and McDougal's directory.
Done.
Tell the neighbourhood. Miss Anderson's Motor Service is ready for business.
To Alice.
Someone's fallen down the rabbit hole.
Woo! Send a telegram to Lewis Carroll.
He wants his protagonist back.
So you'll give me the loan then?
No husband.
No loan, no garage.
A memory. Nabathon. The tinkling of bellbirds and kookaburras.
Cicadas, the sounds of summer, Alice's childhood home.
And this is Joshua Thomas Anderson, JT, Alice's father. With a flourish, he removes his hands from her eyes.
Happy 18th birthday, Alice.
Not the harps! Padded leather, wood grain panelling, 7 passengers.
Thanks to that dicky seat.
She's even got the family crest.
We stoop
not. Oh, she is big. Accelerator designed for a size 11 foot. She'll be a stretch to reach.
If anyone can do it, you can.
And you'll teach me.
It's in your blood.
But how will I learn to drive it?
You've got the mind of an engineer, just like your father. I'll be busy dotting about town for the next few months.
But I thought...
See those paddocks? Just practice out there. You'll be ready in no time.
Oh, all right. Oh, it's very generous of you, Dal. Thank you.
Oh, it's a beauty, isn't it? It's a great investment.
Investment?
Well, you'll have to pay it off, of course. But nothing comes for free, Alice. You know that. Those bookies down at Caulfield know that.
How much?
Only £460.
460 pounds?
I put down the deposit.
How am I going to pay it back?
Well, you've got your whole life ahead of you, Alice. You think of something.
On a brisk and biting Melbourne morning, Alice weaves her way by the convent, up over the river,
Down Studley Park Road, past the boathouse.
through the junction, and arrives at Cotham Road Q.
She stands outside a shabby wooden shed.
A for lease sign hangs from the door. Alice is met by the landlady, Miss Katash.
My brother would usually welcome new tenants, but he's got the dreaded lurgy. Although he's feeling much better now, complaining only of a husky throat. Well, this is it.
Oh, it's much smaller than the newspaper described it to be.
You won't find a roomier place in the whole of Kew.
That window pane is broken.
A hairline crack, thin as my finger.
Well, how drafty does it get in winter?
Winter? Practically summer compared to the Scottish Highlands.
Well, I'll need to have the floors asphalted and those doors put on hinges.
Any kind of luxury upgrade must be paid for by the tenant.
It's not perfect, but it does have potential.
My thoughts exactly.
Well, it won't fit 6 motor cars, but I'm sure I could start with 2.
Motor cars? What on earth are you going to be doing with motor cars?
Fix them, drive them, 2 of them.
All that in my shack?
Don't you mean your garden view investment opportunity?
Yes. I mean to say my garden view investment opportunity. I thought you were opening a millinery.
A millinery? In these pants? I don't think so.
Well, I might need to reconsider this proposal.
Reconsider.
What would the neighbours think?
Oof, hats are for heads. Motor cars are for the future.
There's nothing a motor car can do that a penny farthing can't.
Oh, that's where you're wrong, Miss Katash. But believe me, I could be an exemplary tenant.
You do know it's got a hole in the roof.
I'll have it fixed in a jiff.
And there's a nasty draft in winter.
Oh, nothing compared to the Scottish Highlands. From one business owner to the next, Miss Katash, I could be a long-lasting tenant.
I don't know.
And I have the money up front.
Up front? Well, I never. The bank gave you a loan then.
Something of the sort.
So long as there's no funny business, I lead a simple life, you know?
You won't regret it.
The rent is due the first Thursday of the month and I don't grant favours.
And I don't accept them.
It's agreed.
They shake hands. Alice passes her an envelope. Miss Katash hands her the keys.
If you see my brother, don't tell him I'm off to the races. Toodaloo!
Miss Katash exits. Alice is left alone.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Sunshine streams through that hole in the roof. There's a hubbub of movement as the garage is built, brick by brick.
Bricks for Miss Anderson.
Stack at the rear,
An order of timber.
next to the lake.
Glass for the windows.
Window pane, second on the left. And no grease inside. Watch the machinery.
Tin for the roof.
Right over there.
A box of locks, Miss Anderson.
Out with the old and in with the new.
After 3 months of hard work,
There are tools on the bench, her name on the door. Finally, Miss Anderson's motor service is open for business.
Alice waits alone inside the garage. No customers.
no one arrives. Not the next week or the week after that.
Or the week after that.
If a tumbleweed could roll by, it would.
But wait, the sound of footsteps.
Oh, welcome, sir. Is that your Cleveland parked over there?
What's it to you?
I can have that cracked headlight fixed.
What?
Or the body polish.
I think not.
Perhaps a tour then, through the rolling hills of Dalesford. Complimentary scones and cream.
Well, take the scones. Hang the tour.
No, well, you only get the scones if you go on the tour.
With who? With you.
Why, yes, with me.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, young man. I have an appointment at the courthouse, and thanks to you, I'm late.
But if you have a car that needs fixing, you know where to come.
The passerby storms off. Alice is left alone again.
A memory. Narbathon. Alice is in bed with her sisters Claire and Frankie. It's dark. The wind howls. The beginning of a storm.
The lambs in the green hills, they sport as they play, and lots of strawberries grow round the salt sea, and lots of strawberries grow round the salt sea, and many's the ship sails the ocean.
Oh, when will Mother and Father be back?
In the morning.
Oh, it's scary out here.
Well, fear is useful. You just need to know where to put it.
But I know that you'll be gone soon, back to the city.
Quiet
And
now.
then you'll never come home.
Close your eyes, Claire.
We know you, Alice. We know you don't give up on your dreams.
And what about your dreams, Frankie? I've seen you amongst the lavender bushes with a paintbrush and canvas in your hand.
That's not the same.
Well, how is it different?
Isn't it enough that I paint for myself?
It wouldn't be fair. God has given you this gift. You must share it.
Well, if I might dare to imagine, I would love a studio of my own one day where I can make artworks for Mother to hang all over the house.
Well, don't stop at Mother. Your artwork could hang in the finest galleries all over the country.
Do you think so?
Oh, I know so. But the first step to a dream is sleep.
The memory melts away.
Alice steps into the halls of the Argus Daily newspaper at the Paris end of Collins Street.
Would you believe it? P and Billy Hughes was spotted on the corner of Burke and Elizabeth devouring an eclair.
I need that story by noon and not a second later or I'll have your head.
Do you need something?
Oh, I'm looking to place an ad for Miss Anderson's motor service.
Ooh. When you're ready.
Oh. Miss Anderson's motor service, comma, Cotham Road Q, comma, is proud to offer her touring cars for hire. Stop. No place too far. Stop. New line. Petrol, comma, tyres, comma, and all motor accessories. Stop. Repairs to all classes of car. Stop. Signing off, Alice F. Anderson. Stop. £3.70. I want the ad running for a month.
Here we are, darling.
Are you sure this is the right address?
Welcome to Cotham Road, Q.
Richard Twopenny.
Alice Anderson and Mrs. Twopenny.
My friends call me Betsy.
Oh, well, my friends call me Alice.
So, it's true. We saw your ad in the paper.
We thought it was a misprint.
Wanted to see it for ourselves.
Oh, so that's your Dodge sedan parked up the front.
You know it then?
Yes, sir, very well. Stylish and solid air pressure. Very reliable.
I think so too.
Well, I've always thought one's character could be reflected in their choice of motor vehicle.
Yes, quite right.
So what seems to be the problem?
I would usually visit Brothers and Tom's, but I was unable to make a reservation. There's an absolutely alarming rattle. I wouldn't trust it to get us to Paran in one piece.
Short route to a migraine.
Oh, I know how dreadful they can be. My mother is prone to such ailments. Miss Katash?
Miss Katash bustles in.
1 cup of tea and some smelling salts for Mrs. Betsy Twopenny.
Yes, Miss Alice, on the double.
Miss Katash bustles out.
Well, I can have your Dodge sedan ready for you by 4 o'clock this afternoon.
So soon? What a speedy turnaround.
Better yet, I can have it ready by 4 o'clock and I'll give you the once-over at no extra cost.
What on earth is a once-over?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked, Betsy. It is my own initiative. I'll have the gearbox and battery inspected, radiator drained, flushed and refilled, tyres checked, and those loose nuts tightened.
Do you operate here alone, Miss Anderson?
Yes, I am proud to say I am the sole mechanic on the premises.
How unusual.
Well, perhaps you'll even get behind the wheel, Betsy.
Oh, I couldn't possibly. I can't drive.
I could teach you.
What a novel idea!
Thanks to the 2 pennies, a flurry of customers descend upon the garage.
Caster is good, camber is good, kingpin inclination and toe-in on specification, no marks on the axle, no impact on the spring pads.
Oh, thank you, Miss Anderson.
What seems to be the problem?
The problem stems from a bent chassis and a crooked rear axle. No wonder you're crab walking down the road.
And my engine isn't sparking.
I'll have it ready by Tuesday.
My placard is smoking.
Ready by Wednesday.
There's a putrid smell in my Hudson.
And the Mercer's wheels are wobbling.
My beautiful blue summit.
I'll work through the weekend.
Back at the newspaper office.
Would you believe it? Dame Nellie Melba caught in frisson with famous flautist.
I need that story by noon, and not a second later, or I'll have your head.
Back again?
Miss Anderson's motor service is now seeking staff. Stop. Looking for girls with 8 years of education, comma. She must be in a position to undertake any repairs, comma. With a working knowledge of trim. Stop. My ambition is to turn a trade into a profession for women. Stop. Signing off, Alice F. Anderson. Stop.
Night. Alice is alone in the garage.
She locks the doors, extinguishes the lamps.
Before retreating to her cupboard at the back of the workshop.
Small for some people, but a perfect sleeping nook for Alice.
I thank you this day for your grace, your provision. Help me hold firm in my faith. Bless Ma, bless Pa, bless Frankie and Claire.
Alice stands cautiously and creeps toward the clatter outside.
Is anyone there?
A new day. Ruth Snell enters the garage dressed smartly for an interview.
Ruth Snell, I read about you in the Argus. I was too nervous to apply sooner. Oh goodness, it's much bigger in here than I expected.
Well, there's been an overwhelming interest in the position. Why, just today, 7 girls rang to inquire.
7?
But never mind about them. Why are you interested in this line of work?
A few reasons. I've allergies to the department store perfumes.
Well, go on.
I'm not a strong speller.
I see. Well, education is essential. You must be in a position to undertake
Any repairs, with a working knowledge of trig. Stop. Your ambition is to turn a trade into a profession for women. Stop.
Well, you do know it's dirty work, washing and greasing.
I'm no stranger to dirty work.
It'll be early mornings and late nights.
I'm a night owl and a morning lark.
It'll be long hours and no overtime.
I expect nothing less. It's better than selling coat hangers and watch straps.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Oh, please, Miss Anderson, you won't regret it.
Well, if you're up for it. The lavatory will always be clean. The coffee will always be hot. And if you're doing what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. We'll make the work count.
Too right.
We'll come back tomorrow at 6:30. Wear trousers and a crisp white shirt.
Maggie Dodd.
And what inspired you to apply for the position, Dodd?
Well, the thought of sitting on a sofa all day, waiting for a proposal from a suitor. I'd rather leather upholstery and my foot on the clutch.
So you're not planning on getting married?
No, vowed I never would.
And do you drive?
Yes, I do, both a buggy and a motor car, and I am an accomplished horsewoman.
Oh, well, I'm a horsewoman myself. Winnie was my first love.
What breed?
Thoroughbred, yours?
Ha! Same, retired racehorse, Ned Kelly.
Ned Kelly? Or was he just as troublesome?
Oh, like you would not believe.
Then you're no stranger to discipline and hard work.
Up before dawn and the last to the dinner table.
You're a bit of a cracker, Dodd. I think we'll get on. Snell, Dodd.
Dodd.
Snell,
Alice.
Dodd.
Snell.
Alice. Dodd. We run a tight ship here, Dodd.
Watertight.
Well, giddy up.
Marie. Anything else I ought to be aware of, Marie?
I'm a vegetarian.
How avant-garde.
I apologise, that's not relevant.
I must admit I am partial to a Sunday roast, but I respect your resolve.
My resolve?
To be vegetarian.
Oh, yes.
So the working day begins at 6 and ends at 6.
Oh, 6.
Is that going to be a problem?
Well, it's just the ballet starts jazz at 6.
Well, they say it's fashionable to be late.
True.
Except when working here.
Oh, understood.
Now you have no experience, no time behind the wheel, and no formal qualifications?
Yes. Oh, but I'll do anything you ask.
I'll take you on as an apprentice. Your first job, polishing.
Motor cars?
Spoons.
Gabrielle de Fleury.
Oh, right. Flurry, it is.
I have 3 years driving from my time in the war.
Oh, impressive.
The British Women's Land Army. I drove trucks and tractors through country roads. I can fix anything with wheels.
Well, what brought you to Melbourne?
I needed a change.
Oh, fair enough. I think you'll make an excellent chauffeur, Flurry.
Give me a map and I'll go where you need, Miss Anderson.
Oh, that's the spirit. And call me Alice. In the Buick carburetor, the float chamber surrounds the aspirator, which is in the form of
A hollow tube.
Correct. It has very small
Holes.
and where are they?
In the side towards the intake pipe of the engine.
Correct. So the air coming into the carburetor strikes
A
up,
hinged flame.
which is raised or lowered as
The amount of air is increased or decreased.
correct. So this hinged plane is connected with...
The hollow aspirated tube which rises and falls with it as the quantity of air changes, so more holes are uncovered and more petroleum is drawn into the intake pipe.
Touché! If you can see it, you can fix it. God, turn to page 58 of Dykes.
Right!
Valve timing. Stell, pick up the biscuits.
Yes!
The streets of Kew, a driving lesson. Marie's in the driver's seat. Alice coaches her along. Flurry, Dot and Snell are squashed into the back seat.
Eyes open, Marie.
Oh, but I'm afraid.
Left.
You're afraid of your left shoe.
Left. 10 to 2.
Marie, I'm gonna lose my lunch.
Focus. Foot on the clutch. Pedal to the metal.
What if we get lost?
Never admit to your passenger that you don't know where you are.
What do we say then?
Well, you're taking the scenic route.
A shortcut.
Trip down memory lane.
And always bring home the bacon, Marie.
Oh, I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, book them in for the next session before this one's finished. Tight, tight, tight!
Oh, watch the junction.
Well, which way?
Watch the tram!
After 6 months, Miss Anderson's motor service is a well-oiled machine with business snapping at its heels.
Oh, Alice, it's the Dovers family. They need their summit by 2 o'clock instead of 3. They're heading off to Queen's Cliff.
We'll have it done by 2.
Alice, it's stuck. It's stuck.
Put your back into it, Snell.
Alice, it's Mrs. Redwing. She needs her daughter picked up from Miss and Lindsay Ladies' hairdressing and toilet parlour.
Well, right you are. Flurry, take the Elgin.
Elonzi.
Alice, Mr. Bradshaw's Daimler's just come in, hit right up the rear by a tram on Commercial.
We'll start with a drop test, then do a wheelbase check.
Alice, it's still stuck.
Twist it twice to the left. I mean, yank it with a crowbar if you have to.
Alice?
Yes?
It's your mother.
Oh, take a message, Marie. I mean, I can hardly understand why she thinks I have the time to talk.
Not everyone is impressed with Miss Anderson's motor service.
Times are changing too fast for some people. A policeman enters.
Noise pollution, oil dumping, odious petrol scent, grease marks through the local streets. There have been complaints.
And officer, are you inspecting all
Running amok, speeding all over town, scaring the horses.
Well, horses are easily spooked.
Since the likes of your lot have come along, all I get called out to are accidents.
We're not the only ones on the road, officer.
It is a dangerous game you're playing, dressed the way you dress, doing what you do. Why, just today I was on the Esplanade and there was a mighty collision.
Officer, my garage is not the cause of
Listen,
every
Miss
collision.
Anderson, if I get called out here one more time, you will be facing more than just a hefty fine. Do not doubt, it would give me great pleasure to shut this freak show down.
A few weeks later, Alice is on the get out and get under, a platform on wheels used to slide herself under a motor car.
An invention of her own, we might add.
A nervous, but unknowingly charming young man hovers next to her.
The garage girls watch on.
You see, the bearing was off kilter because of that darn hot tot hole on Burke Road.
I'm still marvelling at the polish. Thank you, Miss Anderson.
Oh, no, well, that was actually Marie's doing. Oh, it's a beauty, this model. When did it come into your possession?
It was a gift from my father.
Oh, did he make you pay it off too?
Pardon?
Oh, never mind. What a generous gift.
You know, I didn't realise it'd be true.
About what?
About you, Miss Alice. Your enthusiasm and pluck and unwavering knowledge of the automobile. You are precariously clever.
Well, I do like to be one step ahead.
You can say that again.
It's not presumptuous of me. Would Saturday next suit?
Saturday next. You're interested in our new Ballarat Backstreets tour?
I beg your pardon?
£20 for the weekend, picnic lunch, champagne, and informative foray through the Blue Gums and Valley Roads. We're the only ones offering it.
No. Although that does sound grand. It's just, there's a matinee of Pirates of Penzance at the Princess Theatre on Saturday.
On Saturday? And you're in need of a show first, not a problem.
No. Sorry, Miss Anderson. I'll be Frank.
Frank.
No. George.
George!
But my brother's name is Frank.
Frank?
In any case, I'd be exceedingly obliged if you would join me at the theatre as my guest.
Oh. Well, I am fond of Gilbert and Sullivan. And though I must apologise, my schedule is confirmed and I couldn't possibly leave the garage at such short notice.
Not a worry. How's the week after next?
I really couldn't say.
Well, no harm. I eagerly await my next once over.
Anytime.
What? Alice, did you see the gold watch on his wrist?
I'd die if a man of that stature looked at me the way he just looked at you. What was wrong with that one?
Nothing. He was perfectly charming.
Oh, he even smelled nice.
It's not like my sweaty shirt.
Well, perhaps you'll get married someday.
If only for a rest.
A rest? Is that what you call it?
No, I think it's only a change of work.
Yeah, what's next? He smuggles you from the theatre to his house and then you're stuck there forever.
Darning socks and baking bread.
Oh, my married friends have never stopped crying.
I've got too much I want to do before I get married.
You don't have to marry or have children, but don't you long for someone of your own?
Well, I've got all of you. And I've got this. And we're doing something here. And I wouldn't give that up for a gold watch.
Nor a hairy back.
The girls get back to work. The telephone rings in the office.
Miss Anderson's motor service. Miss Anderson's motor service. Hello? Hello?
The line goes dead.
Alice heralds in the new year with the grand opening of the new expanded premises for Miss Anderson's motor service.
A reporter makes notes in front of an enthusiastic crowd of locals hailing from Kew, Malvern, Toorak and the like.
Success comes to some women early in life. Take, for instance, little Alice Anderson of Melbourne, who is still on the very sunny side of 30, and who, through her own enterprise, persistence, and hard work, has become the first woman garage proprietor in Australasia. From humble beginnings in a backyard shed, Miss Anderson is now proud to open her new bespoke and pristine premises. And the fact that Alice employs only girl chauffeurs makes her business possibly unique in the world.
Welcome to 88 Cotham Road, Kew.
What inspired you to set up such an establishment?
My ambition is to turn a trade into a profession for women. And it is well within the grasp of those with initiative and grit.
What's a typical day in the garage?
Girls?
We start each day with a cup of English breakfast tea. God save the king.
We mend punctures, do mechanical repairs.
We attend to telephone calls.
Not to mention our especially tailored driving lessons for women.
Well, what does the future look like?
It's bright. We're expanding.
Oh, we are?
We've had over 50 mothers trying to place their daughters in apprenticeships since Christmas.
An inspiration.
See, our main client is the young girl. And mothers want to be secure in the knowledge that their daughters are in the hands of a responsible woman. We are both chaperone and chauffeurs.
The other garages in the neighbourhood can't be happy.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Oh, and you can write that down.
This is remarkable. As the automobile takes off in Melbourne, proprietors such as Miss Anderson will surely be needed. As we step into a future where women really aren't purely ornamental. May we take a photograph of you, Miss Anderson? Out the front, if you please.
Well, let's get one of the whole group. Girls?
To the right, a discussion on medicine and Monet. To the left, Alice meets her mother, Ellen Mary, for tea.
Hat. Oh, what will the ladies think?
Well, I'm sure they'd be impressed by my entrepreneurial spirit.
How are you going to attract a suitor dressed like an undertaker's assistant?
Oh, Mother!
Do you have an understanding with any young man?
The answer to your question need not worry you, nor anyone else for that matter.
What happens if you break your back under the bonnet of one of those things? What happens then?
Are you questioning my skills, Mother?
No, Alice. But you cannot deny this unconventional work setup is off-putting.
Well, I know what I'm doing.
You haven't looked this sickly since the boat back from Dunedin.
Well, I've never slept well. You know that.
You can't deceive me, Alice. You have the face of your father when he's plagued with money troubles.
Money troubles? Who says there are money? You say there are money troubles. I tire at talking at length about money troubles, and I would appreciate a more supportive conversation.
I can see that you're upset. We shall park this discourse for another time. But my sage advice to you is look after your finances. And consider Mary Brandon's eldest son. I hear he is quite a catch.
And is he threatened by a girl with gumption?
Oh, Alice, they all are.
In a sunlit street by the Melbourne Public Library, Alice's path unexpectedly crosses with another's.
An elegant woman clutching a stack of books.
Alice is distractedly peering at the building numbers when she bumps into her. Her books tumble.
Oh, I'm sorry, Megan. Let me help you with that.
Thank you.
Oh, you have the collected works of Keats.
Yes. Although my copy is quite dog-eared, don't look too closely.
No, I'd be concerned if it wasn't.
Oh. Were you going somewhere?
Oh, I'm meeting a friend at the Windsor Hotel.
Ah, how lovely. The Duchess of Spring Street.
Yes.
Although I'm not sure they'll let you in dressed like a garage hand.
Oh, well, I am a garage hand.
Oh. So, you know Miss Anderson then?
No, Miss Anderson. Yes. Yes, I know Miss Anderson.
Oh, and what's she like? I've been hoping to bump into her at the Lyceum Club, but as luck would have it, we just keep missing each other.
Well, she is excellent company. Be the life of the party. Not to mention an avid reader. Actually, I believe Keats is one of her favourites.
Ooh, she sounds marvellous.
She is.
Do you think I might trouble you to arrange an introduction?
I don't think so. She's
My
very...
sincerest gratitude for the work you did on my Dodge, Miss Anderson. The engine's purring like a pussycat.
Anytime, Mr. Twopenny. And Betsy, don't forget your driving lesson.
Alice turns back sheepishly to Jessie.
Alice Anderson.
Jessie Webb.
They shake hands.
So how about that introduction, Miss Anderson?
Early morning. Alice enters the garage to find two burly men inside. She stops in her tracks.
What are you doing in here?
Heard so much about this place?
Much bigger than I thought, Dom.
Who are you?
She's even got Joe McBride's Studebaker in here, Bill.
How did you get in?
We heard you were housing Sammy's Bentley too.
Yeah, that's some car.
Worth a pretty penny.
About £1,000, isn't it, Dom?
Leaving it in the hands of girls.
I know.
That's awfully trusting of him, Bill.
Very trusting, though I wouldn't be so foolish.
What do you want?
Exactly what kind of services do you provide here?
What do you want?
We loved reading about you in the paper.
Miss Anderson, you seem to know people in such high places.
And low places.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you do.
Well, I think it's time for you to leave.
Or you're
I'll-
what?
Marie falls through the door.
Oh, sorry I'm late. Alice?
Well, never mind these gents. They were just leaving.
Just a friendly hello from the boys at Denny's.
This won't be our last visit. Ladies.
The mechanics ooze past Alice and out the door.
A wintry Melbourne day. The girls huddle around a radiogram trying to find the broadcast.
Grips of another wave of the Spanish flu. Interstate travel and trade are nearly brought to a standstill again by the Commonwealth. Avoid crowds, observe personal cleanliness, keep in the sunshine and prevent spitting and dirty habits. Most doctors say overindulging in alcohol is a danger.
Are you sure I'm infected?
You're burning up, Fleur.
I've barely got the cough and ordinary cold.
Don't come near me.
Another cancellation, Alice.
Well, have those parts from Newcastle arrived yet?
No, everything is at a standstill.
What's going to happen to me?
Oh, they might send you back to France.
You need to rest and keep up your fluids. Go home, Fleur.
I'm fine. I'm not missing the tour to Warburton today.
No, I'll do it.
Alice, not again.
Yes, I mean, you're fixing the sedan.
Well, I'll work through the night.
No, not again. Surely we can just delay its return.
Absolutely not. We can't afford to lose any more customers. Go home, Flurry. Snell, did they say how long?
No, Alice. The ports are closed. Nothing's coming in and nothing's going out.
How are we supposed to work?
We'll make the tools if we have to. We've come through this once, we'll come through it again.
But what about...
I'll manage it.
The garage girls share a concerned look.
A memory. We're back in Narberthong. Ellen, Mary and JT are on the veranda. A young Alice listens from the shadows.
What kind of business, JT?
The bridge build is already underway. I'll be gone for a little while.
But you've only just arrived back home.
Monash and I have secured contracts in Melbourne, Geelong and Bendigo.
So you will be everywhere but here.
Oh, this one's going to work out, Elle.
That's what you said about the last idea.
But that only didn't work out because they wouldn't take a chance. They were too small-minded. Never be a small-minded person, Alice.
I won't.
Alice, go to bed. At least assure me that this work will be paid in advance.
We're still smoothing out the details.
There's only so much money I can squirrel away for myself and the girls. We're living off crumbs. When you brought us out here to the middle of nowhere, you promised us a better life.
And it will be a better life. Oh, this project is full of grand ideas. Alice, you'd love it.
Alice leaps out from her hiding place.
Then take me with you, Da.
That's not half a bad idea.
I could be your apprentice.
I said go to bed. Who is going to make sure the property is kept warm this winter? The house is in complete disrepair.
Alice can manage it.
I can manage it.
She has school. concentrate on her education.
But I already know everything they're teaching me, Ma.
The brightest spark in her class. She'll be fine.
14 crates of books crossed the seas with me so that she could read them all. We agreed the girls would have an education more rounded than mine ever was, and we agreed you would not take any more risks. You're not thinking of the family.
Everything I do is for the family. It's decided.
JT goes inside.
Why must you be so miserable?
I only want what's best for you, Alice.
And how do you know what's best?
I am your mother.
But you're trapped in the house all day with your injured leg. You don't even try.
Is that what you think of me?
Always waiting.
One day, Alice, you will understand.
No, we're going to have different lives, Ma.
Well, I'm sorry you find my life so unpleasant.
I'm going to be out there, doing things, like Dar.
You are not Dar.
Well, not yet. But I want to be.
Back in the present,
Surviving the dark days with grit and determination, Cotham Road's doors remain open.
Yet Ford is making moves in Melbourne. Big business looms.
Snell corners Alice with the ledger book in her hand.
Alice, I've been trying to tell you for weeks. The regional tours are more costly than rewarding. Do we need to provide them with a 3-course meal?
It's about customer satisfaction, setting ourselves apart, investment in future patronage.
You have 79 clients listed as doubtful debts.
Well, not all of them are lost.
Well, you brought on 8 girls, not to mention the pay rise they've all been asking for.
And I've told them I'm paying them as much as I can. And they should be grateful, because I know that Hildy Pickford's been stealing the soap.
I think we need to slow down.
And if we slow down, we stop. We need to keep innovating.
Well, do you really need the Overland Tourer?
Of course I do. The American model has balloon tyres. I mean, do you know what that means? To float over the road on cushions of air. I mean, streets ahead of the pneumatic tyre of the past.
Well, the best oils. They're double the price. And I doubt the customers would know any better.
That's where you're wrong, Snell. It's what sets us apart. Which is why I have put down a deposit on a baby Austin.
You bought an Austin?
No, Snell. You buy a motor car. You invest in an Austin.
I don't understand.
Well, she's the smallest car ever built. It's like she was made for me.
No. How did you pay for it?
Someone owed me a favour, Snell. It'll put us on the map. Just have faith.
The middle of the night. Alice is still working, alone. Headlights appear through the window.
The sound of footsteps. Alice picks up a tool from the bench.
A window shatters. Shards of glass are spilled out across the garage floor.
The next morning, Jessie enters the garage.
What on earth happened?
A brick. Straight through the window.
God, how medieval.
I thought so too.
Well, do you know who it was?
Could have been anyone.
Or did they take anything?
They didn't stay for tea.
You're ruffling feathers.
I suppose that's a good thing.
Well, it is and it isn't. Perhaps you should report it.
No, it's not worth the trouble.
Well, it's a brick this time, but what's next?
Well, I love that last book of poetry you gave me.
I'm surprised you had time to read it.
I finished it in one night. I mean, I even committed some of the poems to memory.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, we'll go on then.
Now.
I'm listening.
land of life, thou hast found one true heart to love them. Hold it fast, love it again. Give all to keep it thine, for love like nothing in the world can last.
You're full of surprises, Alice. Well, I think you'll love this new book. It'll leave you longing to visit America.
Oh, I do hope to travel the world someday. Although I think everyone should know something about her own country first.
Carve your name into the map, perhaps?
Straight through the Australian desert, AA was here.
There's no doubt AA was here. Now, I have a proposition for you. The university has given me 2 tickets to Pirates of Penzance on Thursday.
They're back in town again.
Apparently it's a hoot.
Well, I am fond of Gilbert and Sullivan.
The Roaring Twenties are in full swing,
Batali wins the cup one year.
and Backwood wins the next.
As the horses pass the post, hollers from the winners.
And blast from the losers!
Blast! Money in and money out. Newspapers opening and closing. Umbrellas up and down.
Whispers of prohibition.
And union strikes ripple through the streets.
Miss Anderson is spotted everywhere. University lectures.
Articles in women's motoring.
Parties uptown. Meanwhile, back at the garage.
Alice, are you coming?
You go ahead.
Oh, you promised!
No, I said I'd think about it.
But the Pickle Sisters are playing.
The Who sisters?
One night only, the Green Mill.
Wait until you see their hats.
It's what we call avant-garde.
Well, what do you say?
Well, I'd love to, but the work is backed up and it has to get done.
Well, I guess that's it then. We won't be seeing her.
The girls exit for their evening ahead. Alice continues her work, then winces, clutching her side. Unseen, JT waltzes into the garage.
Excuse me.
Sorry, sir, we're closed.
I'd like to speak to the proprietor.
Dom, what are you doing here? I thought you were up in Leongatha.
Can't a loving father pay a visit to his successful daughter?
Well, sure you can. Oh, it's wonderful to see you.
My Alice, I'm sorry I haven't gotten back here sooner. This garage is clean as a whistle.
Well, take a look at this. Came in yesterday from Melbourne. I thought of you as soon as it rolled in, that royal blue.
Oh, it's grand, isn't it? What I wouldn't give to have one just like it. What does it need?
Well, at first, I thought it was the coil,
Mm-hmm.
but then it bit me.
Oh.
So I checked the spark plug lead of the number 4 cylinder, and it was dead. Turns out, a hairline crack caused the misfire.
Ha! No problem you couldn't solve.
I don't know about that, Jar.
I mean it, Alice. Anderson's always come out on top. Eventually. Well, who else can say that their daughter built a business from the ground up, brick by brick, who sees the road ahead as a golden opportunity to find what's waiting round the bend?
Well, who do you think I got it from? How about some tea?
Oh, love a cup of tea. Now, let me tell you about an exciting prospect. An opportunity we can't afford to miss.
So you're not here for a social visit then?
Oh, top secret, Alice. Insider trading and all. I'd love to tell you more, but I'd lose a finger.
How much?
Not much at all. You wouldn't even notice it's gone. The cream off the top of your coffee.
How much?
50.
Pounds or pence?
Rape your wit, Alice.
Well, I can give you 20 pounds. Not that things are tight. They're not.
You're my favourite daughter, Alice. I've always said it. Now, how about that tea?
There's actually somewhere I need to be.
Alice tumbles into a swinging party. Yay! Alice, people have been asking about you all night.
They saw our uniforms and let us in for free!
After work comes with benefits, Marie.
Someone snuck a case of gin in through the back door.
Alice, the mayor is here.
here. The mayor? Well, where is he? Where did you see him?
Oh, forget business for one night.
Yes, Alice, come and dance.
Well, all right.
Hey!
Alice is swarmed by adoring fans.
Look, it's Alice.
Alice Anderson, I've been dying to meet you.
Why, it's a pleasure.
I've got a picture of you in my room.
Oh, drop by and I'll sign it.
You're an inspiration.
What's next?
Next.
What's it like? Is it true you sleep where you work?
Yes, but I don't sleep
In a
all-
garage full of girls.
Well, that's not quite true.
Getting up to who knows what when the customers go home?
Well, that's not true.
It's the worst kept secret in town.
What secret?
Degenerate.
Suddenly, the tone of the room shifts for Alice. Her world begins to morph and distort as if underwater. Alice begins to lose track of who is speaking to her. She feels another sharp pain in her stomach.
We told you we'd be back.
Alice, Mr. Henri's Buick's here.
Already?
We know who you are.
Leave me alone.
Aren't you a funny little fella?
You ought to be ashamed.
Another one's over.
For who?
Wanna dance?
No.
Look at you.
Alice.
Alice, the pickles are about to sing.
I've got to go.
No, come back.
I've got to get out of here.
Are you alright?
Let me out of here.
Alice clutches her stomach. Time slows down momentarily, an idea strikes. She collapses.
A few weeks later, Alice is back at work. She slides out from underneath her baby Austin. The girls gather around and look at the car.
Alice, shouldn't you be resting?
Oh, it was only a ruptured appendix. It was a useless organ anyway.
Alice, please, the nurses say you're the most overworked person they've seen since the war.
How amusing.
Are you sure you're up for such a long journey?
I was going stir crazy in that hospital bed.
Alice Springs is a long way from here.
I know, which is exactly why I'm doing it. After this, everyone will know our name.
Oh, but aren't you afraid?
Well, fear is useful. You just need to know where to put it.
Won't be the same without you.
Oh, it's only 6 weeks.
We're gonna miss you.
Yeah.
I'll miss you too. Now, I've taken the doors off. The baby Austin.
That's absurd. The baby Austin is too small for this kind of trip.
It's a genius modification. I'll put an extra gallon of water now.
Does Jessie know about this?
Oh, she's been to Africa and the Middle East. She's used to travelling rough.
Are you sure this is the right time?
It's decided.
Won't be the same without you.
It's only 6 weeks.
Come back soon, Alice.
And don't forget to feed the cat.
We've got a cat?
Oh.
Outside the Lyceum Club, there's a flash of a camera.
Champagne is passed from hand to hand.
As the crowd admires Alice's baby Austin 7.
It's a 3,558-mile return journey, and now we're setting out in the smallest car ever built.
There's only one main road from Adelaide to Alice Springs, and it's a camel track. Will you stick to that?
We'll be following our noses.
Oh, we're well equipped.
Oh, what will you be taking?
A shovel, an axe, 4 gallons of water roped to the running board, a shotgun for extra protection, and sweets and tobacco to give to the people we meet.
You're travelling light.
You're a braver woman than I.
Oh, it'll certainly be a new experience.
What do you say to those that think that anyone who takes a trip into the interior for pleasure must be a lunatic?
Well, I say getting accustomed to the conditions is half the spice of adventure.
Hear, hear.
How will the garage cope without you?
My loyal second-in-charge Snell is perfectly capable. Well, the road is built for those that dare to travel. Thank you and see you on the other side.
up to Apollo Bay. They follow the road curving into the rugged cliff.
At the Eastern View toll gate, Alice pays 2 shillings 6pence as the driver and Jessie pays 1 shilling 6pence as the passenger.
They cross the border and head west to Mount Gambier.
We catch up with them on the edge of the desert.
Oh, see those scarlet peas in the distance?
Oh, they look like bright parrots squatting by the roadside.
Oh, how spectacular.
My sister, Frankie, would put this in perfect paint.
Oh, this looks like a fine spot to camp.
But don't you want to see the caves with the fossils of the giant wombats? We could make it before sundown if we keep going.
We don't need to beat a crowd. Let's see them tomorrow.
Well, last I checked, I was the driver. So unless you want to take the wheel, let's press on.
All right.
Well, you'll love the fossils. I promise.
Time passes. The middle of the day. Alice has popped the bonnet of the Austin.
Pass me the wrench, would you?
How bad is it?
Well, nothing I can't fix.
I don't doubt that.
Just a few more minutes.
Is there anything else I can do?
No.
Time passes. Early evening. Alice stomps on the ground.
What are you doing?
We don't want snakes for bedfellows.
Oh, Alice.
Time passes. Night. Alice and Jessie sit and gaze at the starlit sky.
Oh, see there? In the Crux constellation. The people of this land call it the Guinan. It's the smallest of the stars, yet look how brightly it shines.
Don't you just long to be up there? Soaring through the stars?
I've travelled the world and yet I've never encountered such a hungry heart as yours.
Well, why would I not want to suck the marrow out of life?
Of course, but
I want to know how it feels to dip my toes in the fairy pools of sky, to walk the rainforests of South America. The motor car is just the beginning. Do you know what they're saying about air travel? To go to sleep in one place and then wake up in another. It's otherworldly. It's nothing short of magic.
yet I think that as you have your eyes on the horizon, you might be missing what's right in front of you.
What is it that I'm missing that's right in front of me?
There's no one here but us, Alice.
Jessie gently places her hand on top of Alice's. Alice looks up at Jessie.
Time passes. Daytime. The expanse of the desert surrounds them.
God, there you are. I woke up and you were gone.
I just saw the most remarkable wedge-tailed eagle flying overhead.
Well, you can't just disappear like that.
I just lost track of time.
Well, you scared me.
Well, I was coming back.
Time passes. They behold the sunrise.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking a fleet of motorhomes, tiny moving houses crossing through the desert sands. endless dirt track.
We're lost.
Never admit to your passenger that you don't know where you are.
Well, I'm not just a passenger. Where are we? God, we should be near Kubapedi.
I know, I took a detour.
Well, we can't afford to take a detour. We're low on supplies and the water drum's nearly empty.
No, I've counted the miles. I've marked it on the map. We can do it. Baby can do it.
Alice, we could die out here.
Time passes. The ghost gums glimmer in the moonlight. Alice stares intensely into the shadows.
Alice, what are you doing? Shh. What is it? Shh. What?
Pass me the gun.
Alice?
Pass me the gun.
Alice! Where are you, Alice?
Frankie?
Alice has fallen into a memory.
What is it?
The dog! Her leg!
Well, what's wrong with her?
What are you talking about?
The fence! She's trapped! I can't untangle her!
Well, show me where she is.
Alice?
Alice stands before the wounded dog and cocks the gun.
You can't shoot her!
We don't have a choice.
Who are you talking to?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, please! We can save her!
It's too late.
For what?
Alice takes aim and shoots the dog. The moaning stops. Frankie disappears.
Alice? What's going on?
I thought I saw nothing.
Welcome to Alice Springs! A small gathering of enthusiastic locals and press have gathered around the pair.
How are you feeling?
In need of a bath.
What do you say to your sponsors?
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you to Butler Nicholson and Universal Oils, used solely throughout the trip. She was a trusty car. We're in good hands.
A trip not for the faint-hearted.
Oh, it was certainly a new experience in hardship.
Well, I never realised how my open-air life in the bush as a child toughened me up.
Are you ready to tackle the return trip?
Well, we made it this far. We're proof that it's possible.
After celebrating with the townsfolk, Alice returns to find Jessie standing with a suitcase.
What are you doing?
I've packed my things and I've left you the maps.
What do you mean?
I'm going home, Alice.
Going home? That'd be ridiculous.
Oh, it's the first sane idea I've had this whole trip.
And how are you going to get home without me?
The train leaves this afternoon.
What's the matter with you?
Me? No, the last 100 miles you barely said a word.
That's not true. I was taking care of things.
Yes. And you're remarkably capable of taking care of things. But I didn't come out here to get lost and bitten and to almost die in the desert.
What did you expect?
Well, not this.
We're making history. We set a record. Don't you understand?
Is that all this was to you?
Well, what else was it meant to be?
Why did you ask me to come with you?
Because you said you wanted to come.
That's not why you asked me. No, you asked me because you need me.
Need you?
Yes. I know what you're afraid of.
I'm not afraid of anything.
Yes, you are.
What? You think I couldn't have done this alone?
No. No, you couldn't. Look, I see you, Alice. I know you see me.
Don't.
There's too much between us now. Together, alone in the middle of the desert?
Stop
I
it.
mean, why else would you bring me out here? I know how hard it can be for people like us.
Well, there is no us. I'm here for one reason, and it has nothing to do with you. But I know I was born now to make something of this time, this moment. And it's not a mistake I'm here. It's not a mistake I am who I am, so I'm not going to stop for anyone.
You're right. And I'm just slowing you down.
Jessie walks away.
No, Jessie, wait. No, Jessie! Jessie!
Alice is alone in the terrifying emptiness of the desert. She drives and begins to forget herself. She drops to her knees and turns her face to the heavens.
Help me! Hold firm in my faith! Help me! Hold firm in my faith! Help me hold firm in my faith!
A figure emerges as if conjured from a dream.
You are here.
I thought I was alone.
You're not alone.
It's so empty. I don't know which way to turn.
The choices are endless. They can make you mad. Who are we?
Who are we?
Darling, if I had a dime for every time I doubted myself.
Who says I'm doubting?
Everyone has oceans to fly if they have the heart to do it. You know that.
Maybe I am afraid.
What do dreams know of boundaries? We want to do it because we want to do it. Why not aim for the sky?
Will it be enough?
We're mavericks, you and I.
Some people were meant to dream beyond what is possible.
Is it reckless? Maybe. Is it hard? Definitely.
Then what do I do?
Life is short. I'm thinking a magnificent twin-motor, all-metal, perfectly equipped for long-distance flights.
Then tell me what to do.
San Francisco to Honolulu. England to Australia. Australia to... See you on the other side.
The figure disappears. Alice gets into her car and drives. Ellen Mary appears next to her.
Alice?
Oh, Mother, it's you.
Who else would it be? Where are you, Alice?
Leongatha, I think.
Leongatha.
Well, it's wonderful to hear the sound of home.
Oh, that's awfully sentimental of you, Alice.
Well, can't a daughter be awfully sentimental with her dear mother?
I suppose she can, on occasion. When are you coming home?
Yes. Yes, I'm coming home. I just need to find the way.
Oh, Alice, you've always known the way.
Have I?
You just need to make a choice.
Huh. Mother, I have to go. The rain. It's about to crack open the desert.
Rain in the desert. Who would hear of such a thing?
Oh, it's a land of extremes, Mother. Much like myself.
Ellen Mary disappears. Alice looks up at the sky.
On the outskirts of Leongatha, a local man surveys the baby Austin.
Are you sure? £100 for an Austin 7?
I'm sure.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing. She's perfect. She can handle anything that's thrown at her. She's smooth, loyal, and feisty when she needs to be.
Aren't you that young girl I read about in the paper? Why, I've seen your picture. You're on the grand tour of the Never Never. Surely you're going to want to flaunt it when you're back in Melbourne.
We did what we set out to do and now we're finished.
I thought you'd be taller.
Excuse me?
Taller. I thought you'd be taller, reading about your travels and everything you've done.
Well, people aren't often what you expect.
We're back at the Q garage. Snell, Dodd, Marie and Fleury are hard at work. The telephone rings relentlessly. Alice slips in unseen, watching them from the doorway.
Oh, Snell, it's the Jessops. They've phoned 3 times already.
We'll have it done by 2.
Oh, but little Nancy's stranded out in Nunn.
Snell, it's stuck! It's stuck!
Put your back into it, Dodd.
Oh, what's that steam?
It's not steam, it's smoke.
Have you learned nothing, Marie?
Oh, this Adler was all over the road like a drunk duck.
You still know nothing about front axle assembly.
Look, I know it's been a hard week.
Well, what do I do?
Have you done a wheelbase check?
Oh, we didn't expect you until tomorrow.
Well, I couldn't wait a moment longer.
Oh, thank God you're back.
Well, good to see this place is still standing. I knew you could do it, Ruth.
Oh, who's Ruth?
My dear Snell, thank you.
My, you're suntanned, Alice.
Oh, sunburnt.
Oh, we've been up to our ears.
Thank God you're back. We want to hear all about your travels.
We kept up with all your telegrams.
What was it like?
Well, you wouldn't believe the colours. Red sands, patches of royal purple peas spread over the ground like a thick carpet.
And did you miss us?
Every day.
Oh, we've got something to show you. Arrived yesterday.
Couldn't believe they wanted to us in ears.
It's the most elegant car I've ever seen.
A Rolls-Royce 26-cylinder.
Silk velvet upholstery.
Oh, it's even got an ivory speaking tube so the passengers can give us directions.
And look at the built-in vases. Oh, for flowers. Can you believe it?
Well, what do you think?
It's a beauty.
It's more than a beauty, Alice.
Don't you want to take a peek at the engine?
I'm sure one of you will do a fine job.
We thought you'd be over the moon.
Well, I am. But I've been thinking. No one believed us when we started. Automobiles, our garage, and now Australia is on the eve of an aviation boom.
Alice, what are you talking about?
Aeroplanes! We're going to be able to fly Melbourne to the outback as quickly as a motor tour from Kew to the peninsula.
Oh, she's got a touch of the sun.
No, everyone has oceans to fly if they have the heart to do it.
But you don't know how to fly.
Well, not yet. But my first stop off the train this morning was to the Aviation Academy. I've applied for my pilot's license. Announcing Miss Anderson's flying school.
You're leaving Cotham Road?
Not leaving.
What about us?
You're coming with me.
We will run the garage.
Well, I will. We will. We can do both.
Oh, but you just got here.
Well, ideas don't stop. You can't stop ideas.
And what
But
about...
it's the future, girls. The future. And I want you all to be a part of it.
The garage girls return to work with a new excitement. Alice picks up her suitcase and disappears into the depths of the garage.
Less than a week later, night, the sound of a gunshot.
The next morning, Snell and Marie are alone in the garage.
The detective's coming.
Why?
To ask us questions. Where we were. What we were doing.
But it was an accident.
A horrible accident.
The gun, she was cleaning it.
Was she?
I called the doctor.
You were here?
She was still breathing.
What did you do?
I loosened her tie.
It's not possible. It's just not possible.
The detective's coming.
How could this have happened?
She ruffled feathers.
No one would go that far.
Wouldn't they?
Well, the back door was open.
Would she?
What do you say?
Well, she knew how to handle a gun.
She wouldn't. She would never. She wouldn't do that to herself.
What's going on?
Alice is dead.
A memory. Alice, Claire, Frankie, JT and Ellen Mary, the Anderson family, stand outside Alice's garage at Cotham Road Q.
Well, what do you think?
Alice, where did you get the money for the bricks?
Never mind where I got the money. What do you think?
It's beautiful.
You'll need some flowers for the seal.
And you'll paint my business cards, won't you, Frankie?
Of course I will.
Well, what do you think, Mark?
There is no one quite like you, Alice.
The ending. Older but different. But also the beginning. Alice, eternally young, weaves through the garage girls. They don't see Alice, but her presence is felt.
Some of them stayed friends.
Some of them lost touch
Some of them kept it going.
For as long as they could.
until the doors closed for the very last time.
Nothing like those days at Cotham Road Q.
There's been nothing like it before or since.
She paved the way.
That spark.
That spark she lit.
How could they forget?
The look on people's faces.
When they stepped through the door,
And saw that they were
all girls.
For me, the hills. No winding valley ways hemming me in and sheltering my days. For me, the effort. The vast, far-flung goal. Great draughts of beauty for my thirsting soul. From far above, the mists that drift below drown the soft azure beauty, sin and woe. And oh, the joy of conquest. Looking back to say, my feet are bruised, but I have climbed today.
You have to get under